Welcome back to another episode of ROC Boys Football. Today we are looking at a 2022 NFL mock draft, but we got a little competition to it. I'm taking the selections for the New York Giants. Dill's taking the selection for the Philadelphia Eagles, staying in the NFC East. And we're going to see who has the better draft and what team is getting to the playoffs, winning the Super Bowl first from this draft. Let's get into it. As usual, appreciate you guys liking, subscribing to the channel. It's been just the sport's been absolutely unreal. Right off the bat here, a lot of picks.
Oh, just reject it. You don't need to talk through every trade. No one cares.
A lot of good picks.
Oh, again.
All right. Giants picking here at 5. Evan Neal's off the board. Charles Cross is still there. I'm a huge fan of taking Charles Cross over Ike Ekwonu and also Evan Neal. I think the Giants, in a perfect scenario, like one of these 4 guys falls and Icky goes, because that's probably where you're going. That doesn't happen.
That for sure would be so big for them because,
Yes.
I think there's 3 elite skill guys, or not skill, but non-linemen, and that's Kayvon, Hamilton, and Hutch. Like, those 3 are gunning for the top spot in my mind. So if the Giants could have essentially 2 of the big time tackles go in one round, the Panthers could. That'd be the dangerous. Panthers could scoop, but I don't know. Seems like you'd want one of those 2 there, or 3.
And if I pass on, because I'm fine with playing Icky at right tackle and Andrew Booth at left, or
Thomas.
Andrew Thomas at left. I really want to go edge, but I like my edge 3 is Jermaine Johnson. I feel like that's a little rich for him.
He's sick.
Yeah, I think we're going to do it. I mean, Daniel Jeremiah had Travon Walker going to the New York Giants. I think Jermaine Johnson's more of it now.
Yeah, but
pick in the tackles here.
That's a pick, to get some butts. I'm just going to black sheep it and see what everyone starts talking.
And I think he knows that. I think he knows that he has kind of that swing.
Yeah, he knows it. They all know it.
I'm going Charles Cross here. I think the whole you draft a tackle, you guys have heard me say it. You draft a tackle to protect your quarterback. Charles Cross is the best at doing that. I think that's the pick.
It's fair.
You're out on these trades?
Oh yeah. No, I don't care about those.
Reject it. Give him 15 overall.
Here you gotta make some money. I'm a little miffed that Ojabo didn't make it to me. I want him bad.
Yeah, he's a guy that
I think you take Sauce Gardner here with one of the picks. I think that's.
Yep.
I think you do want a QB2 and a younger one at that. So I think you go.
Yeah,
he's clear QB2 in my mind.
I agree. Position and need as well. 16 here.
I think for this, what they'd really hope is to have a D end. I think Ojabo would be my hope to fall. I personally would really want a D end if I was them, but I will probably end up going with. I think Devin Lloyd. That's kind of been what I've done that a handful of times.
You're passing on Nakobe Dean here?
Wait, he's on the board?
Yeah, he's on the board too. They have him.
Oh, well then, yeah, Nakobe. Sorry, I figured he was gone by then. But
the Giants traded up for that pick to go get Jameson Williams. Interesting. All right, at 19, this wouldn't be a bad spot to trade back, by the way.
I kind of agree with that. I already said I'm not taking trades.
He's out trades, fair.
Well, they're fake, so they're not. It makes sense to me.
Fake. I'm taking trades if I get a good trade offer.
All right, it is all fake.
Kenny Green, man, he's a good prospect.
Go Dax Hill. I think Dax Hill's a decent pick for them.
Y'all know how I feel about Dax Hill. I've been talking him up a lot. Again, after the combine, we're going to talk about at the end of the week. This dude's a guy that's going to be talked about going in the top 20.
You're obsessed with him in the combine. You're not scoping out something that we all don't know. We all know he's a freak athlete.
I just think people forgot about this. Yeah, I would easily do this and add another pick here. I'm going to do it. You can get mad at me. I'm going to
do whatever you got to do.
Pick here. For the content, if nothing else. All right, Giants picking at 37 here. He went edge. He went offensive tackle. Brisker, I think, is a good pick. McDuffie here is a good pick, especially with Bradbury probably not there. And Jahan Dotson's a good pick. I think Jahan Dotson falls here. It's also some good value. It's probably between those three guys. Zion Johnson, least positional value, but probably the best prospect out of them all. Maybe Trent McDuffie's the best prospect.
You're hating on Dotson.
Yeah, I guess what I
Dotson's
mean
first
about
round player.
yeah, and McDuffie is too. They're all three of them are, and Zion Johnson's only sliding because he's playing at guard, and you probably can get a good guard later in the draft.
You get a good, but you can't. It's just an easier position to replace, but I do think he is way better than the next.
I'm going
Besides
Trent
maybe
McDuffie. I
Jermaine
think you can do a lot with him. I'm
that's
interested
your
to see
guy.
the combine. He is my guy. The film is very impressive. The only
But he
problem
might be
is,
short.
the Giants put so much draft capital into the wide receiver position. All right, 51.
Did they really just? Oh well, Arnold Abichetti. No, I told you I'm not doing trades.
Arnold Abichetti. Yeah,
Give me
you love him.
Arnold. I almost would have wanted Kingsley if he was still there. I love Kingsley. I think he could be great personally, but
I think he has a very high ceiling as well. I agree.
he didn't play with like the greatest motor in college and like consistency, but when he was on, he was sick.
This is the sweet spot of some guys I like. Roger McCreary is a guy who's falling, and this is a very realistic area for him to be, I think. I think he's going to
third
fall.
best man cover guy in the draft.
Boy, Moffitt still on the board. We already went edge. Nick Benito still on the board. This is a juicy spot for linebackers, and we have a pick at 81.
That's fair. You're kind of turning me on that. Like maybe you just wait for the linebackers because there are some good ones. There are some good ones. Yeah.
Quay Walker, Brian Osmo, Channing Tindall, Darian Beavers. I'm a huge fan of Troy Anderson. I'm a big fan of Leo Chenal. Like there are some really good linebackers in this area where, say you're the Eagles and you wait on a linebacker, everyone wants them to get a linebacker. Yes, N'Kobe Dean and Devin Lloyd are good, but those linebackers are also really, really good. If we didn't say we passed on a tackle, and I think the whole Giants fan base would just absolutely crucify me in the comment section. They'll probably crucify me anyways. I would not hate Darian Kennard and trying him out at right tackle because I think he has a chance at making it happen, especially with the decent combine showing off some movement.
Wait, you didn't pick a tackle in the first round?
I did. I took Charles Cross. Oh. And I'm saying if I passed on him, I think Darian Kennard's a guy that you have left tackle there at Andrew Thomas. I think Darian Kennard can play a high level right tackle.
But don't you now have your two tackles with Cross?
Yes, yeah, no, I'm talking. This is hypothetical. That must have just went over your head. If they didn't pick Kadarius Toney, Wendell Robinson would be a guy that I really like. Roger McCreary is probably
only like guys from Kentucky.
I apologize to take your guy, but again, Roger McCreary, the guy that hurt himself with the length, but when you turn on the film, he's just extremely good at the position, extremely good football player. Trent McDuffie, Roger McCreary, two of the top guys available. I'm probably going to get made fun of for taking two cornerbacks, but I think those are two really good picks.
Why don't you just take that trade? That's what you do. You just see if you can get a zillion million picks.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm about, though. Draft capital.
Oh, that's the guy, Asamoah.
Yep, and then here you go. You're getting Brian Asamoah here. Is Channing Tindall still on the board? No, he didn't.
Snaked him.
Brian Asamoah is probably the pick. Brian Asamoah is a guy that he just screams JOK, and JOK had such a good rookie year in Detroit or in Cleveland. Dude with 33-inch arms, like he's a modern-day linebacker who can stretch the field, go back in zone coverage, get his hands on footballs. He is going to be very, very good. And he plays he doesn't take on blocks that well, but I don't think it's as much of a concern as I thought it was earlier in the process. Eagles
he beats guys to the spot, but give me the wideouts real quick.
There's some juicers.
I don't think the wideouts are as deep as like.
Oh, I love some guys right here.
No, well, I'm not a huge Wandell guy.
I am a Wandell truther.
I almost just try to make a rip at Khalil Shakir at this point, so I'm not going wide out. Give me the tackles.
Oh, you want him?
I'm debating him or yeah, I think so. I think you might. Well, they do have that Malele guy who's like turning out to be pretty good.
Yes.
Which makes me almost want to say Rasheed Walker because you use him at guard for a year or two,
Yep.
and then maybe when Lane Johnson hangs it up, you kick him
The
back
thing is,
out.
I
So
don't
I'll
think
go.
Rasheed Walker's a left tackle. I think he's more.
No, he's not. I think he's not. But Jordan Mailata is a younger, like fresh left
Who's
tackle.
also been playing very well.
Yeah, give me Rasheed Walker. I don't think Bernard Raimann fits in as well.
Passing on your just because of position versatility, I kind of get it, but you have
That's what I mean. I think he's not really a road grader. Bernard
this also
Raimann.
isn't
He's
that realistic of a pick, Bernie Raimann. He's probably not going to be available there.
You'd be really surprised if he makes
Brandon
it.
Smith is a guy that I'm super interested to see where he goes because I'm not high on him because the film was just frankly was bad, but he's like very.
He's got the traits you want.
Yeah. All right, Giants at 111. This is kind of where you're getting to the area of like find your gems. I think Justin Ross is a guy that you could be looking at because he was like a lock to be a first round pick a couple years ago, and then the injury bug got him. What do we got at tight ends here? Gross. That's actually disgusting. The Greg Dulcich
you just
show?
wait.
Yeah. We were so right on Greg Dulcich, by the way.
Wait, they've pushed him up that far.
Oh, everyone loves him now. Yeah, the ROC Boys saw that and freaked ball.
It's classic. They're just jacking our swag.
That's exactly what they're doing. The bums. I'm actually a huge fan of this mentality, and I know it's kind of a weird one.
What?
Pairing up Leo Chenal and Brian Asamoah, I think, is very interesting to think about. I think you're kind of getting the best of both worlds. A one linebacker who's like probably the best box linebacker in the class when it comes to just playing in the box, taking on blocks, getting in the backfield. I almost feel like Leo Chenal is just playing the wrong position, though. He just strikes me as more of an edge guy. Let's check.
Yeah.
And also, like, when you go Brian Asamoah, I think it's really important to have a dog up front at the defensive tackle spot. So I almost wish that, like, when I went with, like, my early third round, I got, like, a Travis Jones or somebody who can kind of keep Brian Asamoah clean. I think that kind of is where you're going to see the best aspects of Brian Asamoah, like when he's not having to take on blocks. It's not a ton of guys that I'm super excited.
They're not like that bad at D tackle though. I feel like that's some guys.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I don't think you're going to get a guy that's going to be able to like really effectively keep him clean. I am a Justin Ross guy. I heard some Dabo Sweeney. I think the value is probably just too good here. Beginning of the fourth round, I think he's a first round talent who obviously like the injuries were a problem, but like this year apparently was playing with like some serious injuries in his foot and was playing.
He was in a vicious.
Yeah, and then he had DJ just throwing him at his laces, like throwing him at his feet all the time. So all right, Eagles 123. Where we going?
My plan's in action. Give me Shakir. Khalid. Is it Khalid? Right?
Khalil Shakir. He is an explosive guy.
Khalil Shakir, I think, is kind of interesting.
Not on the board though. Not on the board. You got sniped. You got sniped by the Browns.
Oh,
Cal Austin, man. He's small.
Who?
Calvin Austin. He's small. He's a little guy, but he's got some juice to him.
All right, hold it. We're waiting. We're waiting for Drummond.
Going back to the big board. Well, hey, the last time you waited, players passed you by. That's another interesting thing when you do these mocks is like, oh, that team reached for that guy. Like, you never know. Like, if you like a guy, go get him because you don't know if he'll be there. You think Khalil
Give me
no. This guy's a prospect, but man, he's good. He's gonna run like a 4.28.
Just scroll a bit, would you?
This Wendy spread be hidden. Yeah, I'll scroll for you. Jesse Luketa, Senior Bowl, James Cook.
That is an interesting
Robinson.
one.
I like Terrell Bernard. Like Michael Clem.
All right, go to safeties. I think I'm gonna go safety. I don't know which one.
Get him with Dax Hill. Pair him up.
well, that's a good point. Smoke Monday. That was an electric little bowl game he put together.
Until he got kicked out because he's acting a fool.
No, he was playing well. They were just being just a
Smoke Monday
soft
does. That's just his style. Like he plays like an absolute maniac. Like when you watch the film, he flies around the field, absolutely sticks guys. Like he's a lunatic a little bit. He's got some lunatic in him.
I think they need depth at safety. And again, I don't think there's I don't know where else you really go here. I
Leo
guess
Chenal's
you
on the
could
board
go.
here. I'm gonna go back to the big board, make sure I'm not missing on guys that I really, really like. Trell Bernard's a guy that if you miss on Brian Asamoah, I think he's kind of like a little bit less freakier athletically. Brian Asamoah, undersized, but flies around the field. If they didn't take somebody like Kadarius Toney, I think Calvin Austin would fit interestingly into that offense. Cameron Jurgens apparently is like I haven't seen a ton, but apparently like kind of a
Don't know a thing about him.
Tyler Linderbaum. I think I'm gonna go Leo Chenal.
You just go with your guy.
Yeah, he's my guy. He's gonna break the combine record for bench press for linebacker. So obviously, I'm a guy, weight room warrior. And that tells you that the dude just loves being in the weight room. He loves getting better. And
yeah, but that's I'm sick of that being like the end all be all.
It's not the end all be all. It's just saying like you're getting a guy who loves football. He loves, but you're getting a guy.
No, there's a difference between loving football and loving the weight room. But aside from that,
if you love the weight room, you probably love football. Jamari Salyer's the pick here for the Giants. He's just an absolute lock at the interior offensive line.
It's an absurd thing to say.
He's a plug and play guy.
No, I'm not about Jamari Saylor, but whatever your weight room comment.
You want to drum in now?
Yes. My plan. I'm just stick to the plan, do it.
So Traylon Burks was saying he's been watching a lot of Debo.
I think they could use a playmaker with Jalen Hurts, like somebody who kind of has a little more dynamic in the wide out room.
A guy that you thought Jalen Reagor would be.
Yeah, maybe.
I agree. 162 here. Terrell Brown a pick.
Ooh, I kind of like Max Mitchell here, actually.
A little bit of a project guy. Yeah.
A project, but he's good depth. I think he might be able to play. I think he might be able to develop into a guard. I think he's got to fill it out, but I think he's got
whatever he ends up playing, he's got to fill it out because
he's got like good nasty to him, and he was powerful. Zacoby McClain's a decent option too. I love Zacoby McClain.
To me, Josh.
I can use Zacoby McClain. I think he's elite. I think
you really like him.
I think people are like way too low. I think you could put him up with the
Channing Tindall,
Brandon Smith. Yeah. Okay.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. I think he is a little bit disrespected in these ranks. You got another
these picks are coming too fast. It's like
this is Max Mitchell. Right now.
I should have just taken Mitchell and then Zacoby. Like
good thing Dill's not a GM. Because he would just get it. He would be like the Dallas Cowboys on.
Well, I mean, but if it was you just would you'd run out of time talking about Cameron Jurgens or whoever.
You get plenty of time on draft night. You get plenty of time.
You're an indecisive weenie. So.
Dill would be like Jerry Jones, and Steven Jones when their guys get picked and then they just leave the draft room. They're like, all right, let's call it.
I don't know.
They accidentally made a Micah Parsons pick. That was good. But it was completely by accident. I think this might be a good.
Have any thoughts? I don't know. I'm kind of. I mean, you're picking depth now here, which is what it is. But
find a diamond here.
Go to offensive tackles first, and then go to guards. Nope. Guards.
Cool. Strange. Tanner Munford. Dylan Parham, he's probably the best pick there.
Yeah, but that's go Dylan Parham. I'm not a Tanner Munford guy personally, especially not at guard. I don't know that he'll be play tackle.
Smokes, did he look bad this year?
That was a tough one against. Jeez. I mean, really, the whole year was.
The whole year was horrible. Oh my! There's no way that just happened. Like you just won right before.
No, that's a vicious beat. I'm hurting for you a little bit, actually.
Hurting for myself. I love giving the Josh Pascal spiel every time. Although most of our listeners,
big athlete.
maybe it's good to maybe get another guy.
Well, when's that stop you?
Yeah, it hasn't. I love talking about a high character guy who has good film. It's just it makes me feel great. Say other things if we weren't on the pod right now. Nick Cross is a guy that I really like. Let me check the safeties before I go get him. I think he's gonna have a good combine show.
The Hawk.
Yeah, there's some. He's not at the combine. That's wild.
Yeah, that was.
I almost want to boycott the
combine
until they fix that, because that's a joke.
Yeah, it was stupid.
I mean, Bub Bolden stinks. What edge? Any like freak athletes here? Mari Barno was a guy that people liked. Nope, that's not good. Yeah, we're gonna go Nick Cross, a guy that is just a very good athlete.
What about your guy Nasir
Greer? Nasir Greer too.
You
could. The film Nasir Greer put out when he was healthy. When
I thought he was first round pick as a freshman.
He was sick, dude. He was so good.
Well, I make your pick.
I'm thinking. I still have 20 seconds. I have 20 seconds on the clock. I'm talking with my camp. We're gonna go Wake Forest because they produce high caliber humans.
Something like that.
I love it.
God, you gave yourself too many picks.
Yep. Hey, that was your choice. You wanted the Eagles. You wanted to run it back because you got bullied in the comment section after your last video. Probably will get bullied again.
You've just been taking a zillion million trades.
No, I took one trade. I took one trade for one extra pick. Fake news. That's crazy. Give me a D tackle. Who's any junkyard dogs in here? Any junkyard. Every time I see Neil Farrell, I just think of Rock texted me like at midnight one night. He was watching the film. He goes, Neil Farrell is a tree trunk with legs, or a tree stump with legs. No, it's funny. That's a great comp. I love it. Big bully Marquand McCall. You guys know how I feel about him. Okay, these defenses.
He's not bad.
I like Damian Daniels personally. He's kind of a dog.
Yeah, he was a battleship.
He was a battleship for the mid.
He was tough for everyone to run on. Honestly, he's huge.
I'm a Vinny Gray fan. I'm a Josh Jobe fan. Josh Jobe was a guy that he was first round talent that just didn't really pan out with injuries and other things.
Injuries hurt.
Let me go back to the big board right here. Josh Jobe's the number one guy on the big board. Munford. I think Tyler Munford, man, he was an All-American guard a year ago. He was an All-American
tackle, left tackle.
Excuse me.
And they kicked him down,
and then he just seemed lost. He just but
even when they kicked him back to tackle,
I think it's just that's hard though.
It was a weird year, honestly.
It was a weird year for a lot of aspects of the team. All right, we're gonna go.
It wasn't physical, but
yeah, we're gonna go. We're gonna go with Tyler Munford though. No, we're not. He stinks.
Holy cow. Time, dude.
Josh Jobe picks in. The pick's in.
You would turn in blank cards. I know you would.
The pick's in.
You draft in fantasy.
Roger Goodell doesn't have the nuts to do that.
But no, I actually like the Josh Jobe pick. I think that's good value. I think it's a guy you might like. You might get a legitimate starter. If you can do that in the 6th, 7th round or 6th.
I have 3 cornerbacks. No doubt the YouTube commenters are gonna eat me alive for that. All right, 205 Nick Cross is there.
McFadden's there too.
Mike McFadden's gonna be an all-American,
interesting guy,
special teamer. He's a dog.
That's what I'm kind of thinking. But I already took Jacoby and Nakobe. So
please tell me a little picks. I have a juicer of a pick.
All right, give me the offense. Give me the wideouts.
Wideouts, it's bad. It's really the wideouts are bad. I think Bellis Jones, Taekwondo,
tight ends. Yeah, I don't know these guys well enough.
And Hendershot's decent. Rock really likes that Maryland kid.
Austin Allen's interesting.
Jelani
Jelani Woods is like fascinating player.
He's just too big. Again, he's a guy that's just I don't think he'll stay healthy because whenever
I do worry
you
about that.
get
It
the
is
ball
hard
to him over the middle, the people just go right to the knees, and it's just
Yeah, when
ACL.
you're 6'8" and he's thin, so
He's a
all right. Let's see the QBs.
What?
I don't think it's as crazy as you're doing. Well, it's not really any.
Jack Cohn is like a lock to be a good backup, but
give me the guards and centers, and then I'll make a pick there. I don't know what else to do. Stuber. Give him to me. I like Stuber as a guard in the pros.
He had a horrible senior week, though. I was so weird because people were just like bullying him. And it's like, dude,
they weren't. He had like a bad rep against a really good player, I feel like, and then people jumped down his throat, like you.
I really want to see
Chris Paul could have been an interesting pick.
I really want to see the Giants have one more pick.
Yeah.
Come on, not. I have a juicer pick right now. I have a juicer pick.
Just say who it is.
Demir White.
Or is it? That's a good.
And
pick.
trade Saquon because Saquon's.
The people who don't see the people who say Zamir White's not like a draftable running back are idiots.
You need to follow this recipe, I think, and it's a golden recipe. It's like don't waste money in free agencies signing back running. Like don't sign Saquon Barkley back again. Unless he looks like he might be.
It's tough. Unless you could do it for like around 10
but he's not going to take a contract like that. And
no, I know. But
all right, here's my draft. Jermaine Johnson was a little bit of a reach. Charles Cross at 7, very good pick.
I think you should have flipped those because you don't think there's a real shot that
Panthers get Charles Cross. I agree. I absolutely. And then Jermaine Johnson at 7.
And if you have to do Ojabo, you do Ojabo. It's not like the worst.
Yep. I wouldn't take a job. I'd probably go cornerback then. But I got a juicer, Trent McDuffie, traded back a little bit, acquired another pick that I used on Leo Chenal. That's just absolutely huge brain by me. 2 quarterbacks.
Those are good 5 picks. I actually really like those.
Justin Ross is more of a projection. Leo Chenal, Jamar said. This is a very good draft for the Giants. The Giants have a lot of picks, man. They have a lot of picks to do some damage. 2 top 10 picks, and then they had the rest of their picks. I believe 2 in the third.
Yeah, those 5 and 7s are good. That's a fun pick to have, I think.
It's a fun pick to have. Let's take a look at the Eagles. I'm going to vomit in my mouth real quick.
Yeah, whatever.
Gardner's a great pick. Jacoby Dean's a decent pick. Again, I'm on the train of like you could have gotten like if a Karloff obviously wasn't on the board, but like a George Karlaftis is on the board, you go that. And then Daxton Hill is a great pick. I love him. You did get Arnold Ebiketie, who's also really good. A lot of good picks that I like here too, to be honest. You got a ton of picks.
That is fair. I think it's totally fair.
Draft there.
Probably Arnold, just based on where I ended up with him.
Yeah, I think I'm interested to see where he tests because you and Rock believe that he's like a better athlete than he is. I think he wins a little bit more with the technique as opposed to like super twitched up. We'll see.
I don't think he's not like super powerful. I wouldn't say
he uses,
but I do think he's like
in the draft. His hands,
but he does it fast. Is kind of like I think there's like a level of twitchy you can have where you're just like it's hard to get hands on him.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
that was pretty twitchy out of me. I thought. Rashid Walker, I don't
love the Smoke Monday.
Me neither.
That is a little bit of a pain. It's getting up on me a little quick.
That was 183s. It comes to 123.
And it's not that I think Monday's a good player, but I already took a safety and that's like a 4th round pick. I don't think you like double up at that point if you get those picks.
The bullets started flying right here and Dale got.
I actually those 2 are good picks.
This is a pick that I don't think will be realistic. Not
Dylan Parham, I'm not wildly familiar. Like I know who he is, but I don't have a strong opinion. Fair enough.
Stoobs, not very good. He's a backup, but that's where you get.
Well, you are picking in the 6th round, so.
Who's getting to the playoffs first? Who's having a better year next year?
Leave it in the comments because
leave in the comments because
whatever. I'm just gonna say me. You're gonna say you. So
leave in the comments. Let us know what you guys think. Again, Appreciate you guys rocking with the ROC Boys. We'll be back with some more NFL draft content. We'll start taking a look at 2022 college football season as well. As usual, appreciate you guys rocking with us, and we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.